What if I told you that the king of pop underwent over 100 surgeries that left him unrecognizable, that a beloved friend's star's face became so distorted she couldn't see herself in the mirror? Or that a young woman injected cooking oil into her face, transforming herself into what the world called a monster? Today, we're diving deep into the dark underbelly of Hollywood's beauty standards, where the pursuit of perfection becomes a living nightmare. These aren't just cautionary tales. They're heartbreaking stories of real people who lost themselves in the mirror, one surgery at a time. Stay with me, because what you're about to see will change how you think about beauty forever. The pop star's fatal obsession. Pete Burns' 300 surgeries. Pete Burns, lead singer of Dead or Alive, transformed his masculine features through an estimated 300 cosmetic surgeries that ultimately contributed to his death. His obsession began in the 1980s during the height of his musical success with hits like You Spin Me Round. What started as a simple nose job for $750 became a 2-decade addiction to surgical modification that consumed his life and fortune. Burns underwent multiple nose jobs, cheek implants, eye tattoos, and lip injections that went horribly wrong, with fillers spreading across his face in unpredictable ways. His appearance became so altered that he resembled a botched female surgery patient rather than the rock star he once was. Tragically, Burns declared he would never stop pursuing surgical perfection, famously saying he hoped that when he reached heaven, even God wouldn't recognize him. His death served as the ultimate reminder that the pursuit of physical perfection can become a fatal obsession. The rapper's reality check. Cardi B's dangerous pursuit. Cardi B's honesty about her plastic surgery journey reveals the pressures faced by women, especially in hip-hop culture. Growing up in the Bronx, she developed deep insecurities about her body, feeling her chest was too small and her curves weren't pronounced enough. Working as a stripper, these insecurities intensified as her body became her livelihood. The pressure to compete led her to seek cheap buttock fillers at unsafe locations, a decision that nearly cost her everything. Recently, Cardi courageously shared her decision to remove most of the biopolymer fillers from her buttocks after experiencing serious health complications. Her Instagram Live confession wasn't just about vanity, it was about survival. The cheap fillers were slowly poisoning her system, causing chronic pain and health issues that made her realize no amount of curves was worth her life. Her journey from enhancement to removal represents a growing awareness among celebrities about the real costs of cosmetic procedures. The king who lost his crown. Michael Jackson's tragic transformation. Michael Jackson's story breaks my heart every single time. Here was a man who gave the world Thriller, Billie Jean, and moves that defied gravity, yet he couldn't escape the prison of his own reflection. Growing up in the spotlight while facing relentless racism and public scrutiny, Michael's insecurities became his greatest enemy. What started as a simple nose job in the early 80s spiraled into what experts estimate was over 100 surgical procedures. His transformation was so dramatic that comparing childhood photos to his later years reveals an entirely different person. Multiple rhinoplasties nearly erased his nose completely. Skin treatments lightened his complexion. Chin surgery, cheek implants, eyelid procedures. Each surgery was supposed to be the last, but it never was. The man who once moonwalked into our hearts had literally reconstructed his entire identity, leaving fans wondering if any trace of the original Michael remained. When beauty becomes a monster. Hang Mioku's heartbreaking journey. Hang Mioku's story from South Korea represents perhaps the most tragic example of beauty obsession gone wrong. This former singer and model was once celebrated for her gentle, charming appearance. Everything society told her was beautiful. But when colleagues' looks made her feel inadequate, Hang made a decision that would haunt her forever. Starting with an illegal clinic procedure at 28, she began an obsessive journey to modify every feature of her face. When even underground clinics refused to help her anymore, Hang did the unthinkable. She began injecting herself with cooking oil and industrial silicone purchased from local markets. Her face swelled to 3 times its original size, earning her the cruel nickname Monster from a world that had once admired her. The self-injections destroyed her hearing and caused hallucinations, leading to psychiatric diagnoses. Doctors eventually removed 60 grams of foreign material from her face and 200 grams from her neck, but the damage was irreversible. Fashion's fallen icon, Donatella Versace's unrecognizable transformation. Donatella Versace once embodied the glamour of Italian fashion, but her pursuit of perfection transformed her into something unrecognizable. As head of the Versace empire, the pressure to maintain a flawless image drove her to excessive cosmetic procedures that left journalists comparing her face to a character from a horror movie. Her skin became so smooth and shiny from Botox that she required laser resurfacing treatments, which only made things worse. The lines between her mouth and nose became pronounced from too many facial fillers. Her lips, once elegant, became disproportionate and overdone. Comparing photos from the 1990s to today reveals a complete facial reconstruction: slimmer nose, tighter eyelids, fuller cheeks, and dramatically altered lip shape. Industry insiders say Donatella treats cosmetic surgery like shopping, acquiring procedures as casually as she might buy a new handbag. Her transformation serves as a cautionary tale about how even unlimited resources can't guarantee successful results. From friends to unrecognizable, Courteney Cox's candid regrets. Courteney Cox's admission about her cosmetic surgery mistakes resonates with millions of women facing aging pressures. The beloved Friends star, now 58, openly confessed that her decision to get fillers in her younger years was a mistake that left her with a different face for life. The actress, who once charmed audiences as Monica Geller, found herself trapped in a cycle of procedures that distorted her natural beauty. Cox revealed that aging pressures led her to overuse fillers and other cosmetic procedures, particularly around her lips and cheeks. The results were so dramatic that she eventually made the difficult decision to remove all fillers, seeking a more natural look. However, the traces of multiple surgeries remain evident on her face. Her story highlights how even successful, beautiful women aren't immune to Hollywood's impossible beauty standards, and how the pressure to maintain youthful appearances can lead to decisions that haunt them forever. The Boxer's Broken Face, Mickey Rourke's Reconstructive Nightmare. Mickey Rourke's story represents a different kind of plastic surgery disaster, one born from necessity rather than vanity. In the 1990s, this Hollywood heartthrob suffered devastating injuries during his boxing career, breaking his nose, fracturing his cheekbones, damaging his ribs, and even experiencing short-term memory loss. What should have been reconstructive surgery to restore his features became a nightmare that changed his face beyond recognition. Rourke admits his biggest mistake was choosing the wrong surgeon for his reconstructive procedures. Instead of restoring his former appearance, the surgeries left him with a face so altered that it affected his career trajectory. The actor who once epitomized masculine beauty found himself struggling to find roles, with his disfigured appearance becoming a barrier rather than an asset. His story reminds us that even medically necessary procedures can go catastrophically wrong, and that choosing the right surgeon can mean the difference between restoration and destruction. The transgender tragedy. Rajee Narinesingh's cement face. Rajee Narinesingh's story exposes the dangerous world of black market cosmetic procedures targeting vulnerable transgender individuals. Living in Hollywood, Florida, Rajee fell victim to unlicensed surgeons who promised affordable feminization procedures. In 2005, she had industrial-grade fillers, including glue and mineral oil, injected into her chin, cheeks, and lips by someone who was later arrested for performing illegal procedures. The results were catastrophic. Her face swelled grotesquely, hardened like rock, and developed abnormal lumps that made normal facial movement impossible. The person who performed these procedures used a cement and oil mixture before abandoning Rajee with a severely deformed face. When she appeared on the reality show Botched Seeking Help, even the skilled surgeons on the program couldn't find an appropriate solution. Her story highlights the desperate measures some transgender individuals take to achieve their desired appearance and the predators who exploit their vulnerability. The media mogul's mistake, Simon Cowell's unrecognizable transformation. Simon Cowell's dramatic transformation shocked fans who barely recognized the entertainment mogul responsible for shows like The X Factor and America's Got Talent. His admission to having gone too far with cosmetic procedures came after public speculation reached a fever pitch, with some comparing his new appearance to a horror movie character. The changes were so dramatic that his young son Eric was reportedly shocked and saddened when he no longer recognized his father. Faced with his child's reaction, Cowell made the difficult decision to remove some fillers and adopt a more natural approach to aging. He shifted focus from surgical procedures to skincare, exercise, and maintaining a healthier lifestyle. His story represents a growing trend among celebrities who are stepping back from excessive cosmetic procedures after experiencing negative consequences. Cowell's journey from surgical excess to natural wellness demonstrates that it's never too late to change course and prioritize health over appearance. The hip-hop queen's transformation. Lil Kim's lost identity. Lil Kim's transformation represents one of hip-hop's most dramatic and controversial makeovers. The rapper, who helped define female hip-hop style, underwent procedures that completely altered her appearance from her original African-American features. What started as subtle enhancements evolved into a complete facial reconstruction that left fans struggling to recognize the queen of rap, who had influenced a generation of female artists. Her transformation included what many believe to be skin-lightening treatments, multiple nose jobs, and cheek implants that gave her face a swollen, unnatural appearance. While Lil Kim has never officially confirmed undergoing skin bleaching or extensive facial surgery, the visual evidence is undeniable. Her case highlights the complex pressures faced by Black women in entertainment, where Eurocentric beauty standards often influence personal choices about appearance. The woman who once embodied fierce confidence and authenticity seemed to disappear behind layers of surgical modification. The British bombshell's decline. Katie Price's endless addiction. Katie Price's journey from British sex symbol to plastic surgery cautionary tale spans decades of increasingly extreme procedures. Known professionally as Jordan, Price built her career on her natural beauty and curvaceous figure. However, what began as a simple breast augmentation at age 20 evolved into an addiction that has consumed her life and career. She's undergone at least 12 breast surgeries alone, admitting she can no longer remember the exact number of procedures she's had. Her children have begged her to stop after witnessing their mother's painful recovery periods and disfiguring results. Price has survived several life-threatening complications but refuses to quit, comparing her body to a car that needs constant maintenance. Her justification, "If your car gets scratched or dented, you have to fix it," reveals a disturbing disconnection from reality. Her story demonstrates how plastic surgery addiction can destroy not just physical appearance, but family relationships and career success. The price of perfection. What these stories really tell us. As we reach the end of these heartbreaking journeys, I want you to think about something profound. Each person we've discussed started their surgical journey believing they were moving toward happiness, acceptance, or self-love. Instead, they found themselves trapped in cycles of pain, regret, and unrecognizable reflections. These aren't just celebrity problems. They're human problems magnified by fame and fortune. In a world where social media filters and impossible beauty standards bombard us daily, these stories serve as crucial reminders that perfection is an illusion that can destroy the very thing it promises to enhance, our sense of self-worth. The real tragedy isn't just the physical transformation, it's the loss of identity, the damage to relationships, and the realization that no amount of surgery can fix what's broken inside. True beauty comes from accepting ourselves, flaws and all, and finding peace with the face we were born with. Remember, you are already enough, exactly as you are.